Hello again, this is Brad with Gearheads, and today I'm going to show you how to do a high reliability splice for a wire harness in a bike or boat or car, preferably. Usually it's in a wiring harness, so quite often you don't have open ends like this. So let's get started. You usually want to use one of these type of connections when you're doing a high current or a system that you don't want to lose. For example, on a drag car, you want to be able to have a very reliable ignition system and fuel injection system. Those are just a few examples. Anyway, let's get started. First of all, I've already stripped my number 12 wire back to about 3/8 of an inch. I'm using a non-insulated butt splice. This is an import product that I used to get, but now there's a lot of great domestic products out there made by Burndy and Ideal and TNB. And the way I start out is I flux the inside of my butt splice. Then I flux my wires, my conductors. Note that I've already put a piece of shrink tube on because quite often on a wiring harness, people forget, they get everything soldered up and then they realize, uh-oh, I don't have a piece of shrink tube on there. So we go ahead and we crimp our termination. I always put the crimp in the same location on both sides. It just looks a lot cleaner. I have my Weller soldering station turned up to 635 degrees. I found that's a pretty good temperature for this application, especially when I'm dealing with bigger wire and bigger splices. You want to make sure that you have everything straight before you before you solder it, because that solder will wick into the wire and then it's a little more difficult to get straight. Okay, and then next step is you just you solder the connection. I like to put my soldering tip right on the 1/3, right above the viewport for the solder to flow. Start heating it about there until I see my flux starting to bubble. Then I go ahead and feed my solder in through at the pinch of the soldering iron. And you'll know you have good flow when you start seeing the solder on the outside of the crimp, which is actually the tinning, start to turn silver. That means it's melting and you're getting a good solder flow. That's the one side. Now I'll do the other side. And I have good solder flow there. Now you could take this connection and you can clean it up with alcohol, and then I would let it cool a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and push this on because I'm pretty good at this. I've been doing this for a lot of years. Go ahead and slide your shrink tube into place. Try to center it up. It's already going to shrink down a lot because it's already hot. And I hit it with my shrink gun. And there you have it, a high reliability splice. Tune in next time for another installment of high reliability soldering. Thank you.